Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to finally make this video of my little Optiplex 780 SFF that I did up. Got a lot of different changes I did to it. All the work I did was in the garage, and I'll be posting a full build video, but I brought it inside because this is like my little corner where I do my gaming, and that's my boring gaming computer. This is the best monitor that I have, so I figured I'd come in and hook this one up, and so I can play some games and see how good it performs. But basically, I just want to show you guys everything I did to it. It's floppy bay drive, obviously, and I just put vents on there. This bottom vent right here is the hard drive fan. I like relocated it underneath the hard drives, and I put a little card reader underneath that, so I'd have some sort of card reader, mainly because I usually put a card reader in the floppy bay, and I really wanted a micro SD card reader. And then I cut out the little place where there's usually the Intel and operating system logo. It's just ugly after you peel off the stickers. There's that little place, so I cut it out to try to like match up the other things. And when I was painting this little thing right here, I kind of like screwed up the actual finish on this face plate. So I wound up, sanding it and doing that brushed look that you see sometimes. If I can get my camera to focus. But I wound up doing the whole thing in like a brushed deal. Took off all the stickers and everything. So I put the window in, and let's turn it. Took the hard drive caddy and turned it into a little fan platform with clear plexiglass. I didn't want to attach it to this because it's just kind of a pain when you're taking the cover off and on. It's got that MSI 750 Ti in it. It's really the most powerful card that can fit in that spot. So I see what I mean. I can just pull that off and not have to worry about anything attached to the window. And it's just a piece of plexiglass with some really thin double-sided tape all the way around, and then I put these little screws in it just to make sure it was nice and solid. I like how it turned out. And I don't have a drill press or anything like that, and so I had to do all those holes by hand, and they're not like perfectly lined up, but I basically did them that size because it's kind of hard to do a bunch of little small holes by hand and keep them all lined up perfectly. You know what I mean? I would have preferred like holes like that, but I couldn't even find anyone that would like custom do it in my area. So I just did it by hand, and that whole process will be in the build video too. I did quite a bit of upgrades. I stripped down the whole thing and painted the chassis. I put that MSI 750 Ti in. I transformed the HD caddy into a little fan caddy, so I can just pull it out. And I mounted it to some clear plexiglass, so it'd be easy to pull in and out. And then basically you just can treat it as kind of like a hard drive after that. Just pull it in and out anytime you need it. I put in 16 gigabytes of Corsair memory. I didn't need it, but I wanted it. I upped the power supply to the 280 watt version. That's 80 plus silver. I'll show you what's underneath here in a second. Okay, I pulled the disk drive out of the way, and under here on the hard drive caddy, I have underneath there I have a 1 terabyte SSHD, and then this 120 SSD for the for some of the smaller games and the operating system and stuff. But that's just the little SATA plug I did so I can power the fan and both hard drives. This is some of the cable management. When I first got it, all the cables and everything were just crazy in front of the RAM, and I put what I could underneath the motherboard, like the I/O panel and stuff was on, that cord was going across there, and I put it under the motherboard how it should be. But here's the brushed front. Took off all the little icons and stuff, which is kind of makes it look clean. And so this hard drive caddy just barely misses the hard drive. It kind of actually needs to be just a little bit higher up, but it's not that big of an issue. I should change it, but so that just comes out like that. The hard drive's on it, and everything's still running, hopefully. So there's the floppy caddy. I just kind of put some little risers on it and drilled holes out in the bottom to get some good airflow. And that's the hard drive fan that used to be on this big thing right here. I cut it up and fit it up under there, and it blows pretty good out here. I mean, you can clearly feel it exhausting and pulling in air right here. All that is in the build video that I haven't edited yet, but I'll be showing it all, like the breakdown, how I mounted this little SD card and all that stuff. If I had a a head-mounted camera or something, I'd show you all that crap going back together, but it's impossible to do it one-handed and hold the camera at the same time. This little card's pretty awesome. I was running some, I just installed Metro 2033, and it's just like a really small game. It's like less than 7 gigabytes installed, and it's still pretty demanding, but not crazy. And I had it running on very high, like it's version of Ultra. Pretty much everything maxed out except for, what is it? SSA or SAA. That one was set on auto. And it was pretty much keeping a 60 FPS the entire time. There's a few times when it kind of dropped down to the mid 40s and stuff like that, but I'm really happy with this little machine. And it's going to be my 4-year-old's little gaming rig for the next couple years. He loves Minecraft and all the super hero Lego games and all that stuff. So that's what he'll be playing on. I put the door back on. Paint job turned out pretty good. The window looks pretty sweet, I think. The reason why it's this shape basically is because I wanted to get rid of the entire Dell logo without having to Bondo it or anything like that. I just wanted to cut it out of there. And it shows a little bit too much of this, but I'm not too worried about it. The lighting is really horrible. I don't have any type of professional anything, so I'm trying to turn it around so I can get some more natural light on it. You guys can see my kitchen and dining area and reflection. At least I'm not like Jay's 2 cents scratching his balls in the reflection. Anyways, I'm going to be making some more videos of this little machine, and I'm going to load up some of the like more demanding games like The Witcher 3 and stuff like that, and do some videos of it. And that gaming rig over here, it's my FX 6300 that I have overclocked and an R9 290, and I'm going to be changing out the motherboard and CPU soon for an i5 Haswell Z97. And then maybe in about 2 years I'll upgrade to Zen after it, you know, all the wrinkles are ironed out. In the meantime, I'll have a lot of fun working on Dells. Peace.